And they worked for I don't know how many years, 20, 40, 60, 80 years probably, to extract how many diamonds? At the side of the Kimberley diamond mine, there were some wheelbarrows, 5 of them. And on these 5 wheelbarrows there were plastic nuggets. And they showed us how many diamonds were extracted, 5 wheelbarrows. These diamonds were then exported to Europe. They were polished, they were cut, and the Jews excelled in that. The Rothschild family, banking family, was able to take control and ownership of these diamonds through Cecil John Rhodes, and to be able to amass a huge treasure. A huge treasure was amassed. And then by the summer of 19, they had enough wealth, and Kimberley was closed. Kimberley was shut down. We don't need Kimberley anymore. We're now ready. We are poised. All that we need is a 9/11. That's all we need now. And what they did was, and one day, on Judgment Day, Allah says that the earth will speak. يَوْمَئِذٍ تُحَدِّثُ أَخْبَارَهَا. On that day when the earth speaks, you will get the evidence for what I'm now saying. There were 6 major powers in Europe. If we want to cut off the head of Islam, if we want to destroy the Khilafah, and destroy Islam's conception of an international power, and replace it with a new political system that will enslave Muslims and allow us to control them and establish our dictatorship over them, what do? There were 6 major powers in Europe. There was Britain, and France, and Germany, and Russia, that's 4. And there was the Austria-Hungary, number 5, and number 6. Today nobody remembers number 6, not even the Muslims. Number 6 was the Ottoman Islamic Empire, the Ottoman Khilafah, the Khilafah Uthmaniyya, which is based in Istanbul. How do we get a big war to take place and then use that big war to pursue our strategic objectives? Simple. What we need is a 9/11. So the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary is on a state visit to Sarajevo, in Bosnia, and he is assassinated. It happens all the time. It happened with Zia-ul Haq in Pakistan. They did it. It happened with King Faisal of Saudi Arabia. They did it. It happened with the president of Panama, Omar Torrijos, with the Panama Canal. They did it. And the list can go on. So many senators who crossed swords with Israel. And their planes, the aeroplanes just drop out of the sky. The greatest terrorists that mankind will ever know. So what they did was they arranged for the Archduke Franz Ferdinand to be assassinated. And for the footprints, the manufactured footprints, to point to Russia. As on 9/11, these fake footprints pointed towards Arabs and Muslims and a man named Osama bin Laden in a cave in Afghanistan. Was it Osama bin Laden or Obama bin Laden? So, in a cave in Afghanistan. From the time the footprints pointed towards Russia, the pressure is now brought to bear on Austria-Hungary to declare war on Russia. But prior to the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, Britain and France had established defense treaties with Russia. That had to be in place before you could have the event of the summer of 1914 in Sarajevo. That's how you had to have a Musharraf in Pakistan before you could have a 9/11. So Austria-Hungary had to declare war on Russia. And as soon as Austria-Hungary declared war on Russia, Britain and France are now automatically in the war because they had conveniently established these defense treaties with Russia prior to the summer of 1914. So now you have a big war with Britain, France, Austria-Hungary, and Russia. Germany is racially the same as Austria-Hungary. And there is tremendous pressure on the German government to come to the help of a beleaguered Austria-Hungary, which now faces 3 countries opposed to it: Britain, France, and Russia. So Germany enters into the war on the side of Austria-Hungary. Now only one player left, the Ottoman Islamic Empire. If you read my book, which is out there, I did it as part of my PhD research in Geneva. It is one of the chapters of that book, which is still unpublished. The Caliphate, the Hijaz, and the Saudi Wahhabi nation state. It's there, you can read it. We look at the events which led to the Ottoman Islamic Empire entering the war. And there are many things that we do not have the evidence for, but on Judgment Day we'll see how they forced the Ottoman Empire into the war against the will of the Khalifa. Once the Ottoman Empire was in the war, the stage was set. The objective is the Khilafah. It is not sufficient to destroy the Khilafah in Istanbul. No, you need something more. Another Khilafah could be established somewhere else. In order for a Khalifa to have legitimacy as a Khalifa, whether he be in Istanbul or whether he be in Afghanistan or whether he be in Baghdad, in order for him to be recognized as Khalifa over the world of Islam, he must have control over Mecca and Medina. He must have control over the Hajj. Suppose Mullah Umar in Afghanistan was declared to be the Khalifa. And everybody taking the bay'ah, we recognize him as Khalifa. And then the time for the Hajj came. Mullah Umar goes to his Saudi consulate and applies for a Hajj visa. And the Saudis say, rejected. What kind of Khalifa are you? You are Khalifa and you have to apply for a Hajj visa? So, in order for you to be Khalifa, you have to control Mecca. You have to control the Hajj. And this is what they did. They sent their people into Arabia. The spies, you know, Jassasa, Lawrence of Arabia was one of them. And they sent them with checkbooks, sterling pound checkbooks. And they went to